Yo, what up dudes? Welcome back to another episode of Raid Shadow Legends. Today I'm proud to present to you a project that I've been working on, which is the Infinity Team for Clan Boss, right? I feel like building an Infinity Team for Clan Boss is part of, or I should say one of my dreams when I first started playing this game. I remember when Victor Test broke the game and I should give credit to him, by the way, for creating the Infinity Clan Boss team idea. I also took reference from MulletReaver and HellHades, and of course, who can forget Deadwood Jedi, right? All the famous YouTubers, content creators for Raid Shadow Legends. I referenced the speeds mainly from their team comps, and I also managed to pull Brogni during the last 2x Ancients event that was featuring a 10x Valkyrie, right? I was going for Valkyrie off screen but managed to pull a Brogni. Brogni is the last piece of the puzzle for my Infinity Clan Boss team, so my dream came true, okay? I don't exactly have Lanarkist the Chosen, so I have to make do with another champion, right? I'm gonna briefly introduce the team comp here. Okay, so in place of Lanarkist, it will be Corvis, right? Corvis the Corruptor. I should say Corvis the Goat Raptor, okay, because he just brings so much to the table, right? If you don't understand, or if you don't know what Corvis does, his A1 has a very high chance to land a decreased attack, right? Booked to a 60% decreased attack. The A2 is very OP, okay, I should say so OP. Extends everybody's buffs and then extends the clan boss debuffs. All his debuff, right? Absolutely insane on a 3-turn cooldown. And the A3 lands 2 poisons, right? And then also a poison sensitivity. This will set up it lands total of 4 poisons because it's a 2-hit. Okay, this will set up his passive Curious Draught. His passive will do a damage mitigation, somewhat like a Duchess passive, right? Because if you have like 4 or more poisons, most of the time it's just 4 poisons, then it's at least a 20% damage mitigation. Crazy powerful, and has a 30% defense aura for all battles. Gonna put him as lead. I find that if I put him as the team lead, he became the stun target for some reason. That's fine with me as long as it's not Corpulent Cadaver that is taking the hit from the boss, right? So Corvis, I did not pull Corvis. I managed to warn Corvis from one of the Champ Chase tournament, I think. Okay, let's see how many Champ Chase points I have. Easy win. Okay, so that was it. Okay, the rest of the team comp, who can forget Chris the Ageless, right? I have him with this kind of stats. Okay, 288 speed with reference to MulletReaver's speed guide, right? Good defense, good hit point, good accuracy, and a 5-star blessing awakening just to get that brimstone going, right? Fully booked him. We'll just use him for his A3 increased speed, and then just gonna keep extending the buffs, right, with his ally protection and continuous heal. Also, he brings to the table his crazy passive, right, which will land the decreased defense and decreased attack to the clan boss whenever the clan boss does an AoE hit. As for masteries, went with War Master and Cycle of Magic down to Sniper and Master Hexer. Master Hexer is pretty much required because we want a longer duration for the decreased defense and decreased attack. As you can see from the passive, it's only for 1 turn. We want to extend this with Corvis also. Corvis has a crazy A2 that extends this, right? The masteries for Corvis, it should be like this. Same with Chris, exactly same with Chris, come on. Okay. As for artifacts, I went with a double speed set with 1 divine speed, right? For the extra HP shield. 1 refresh ring. That's about it. As for Corvis, he has a 4.7k defense, 268 speed, good hit point, good accuracy. Okay, and you might notice that my Corvis has a 66% crit rate. I will explain why later. And a good crit damage. Okay. The next guy will be Mr. Brogni. Brogni is just God tier everywhere in this game. I don't have good enough reflex gear, I feel like, because I can't seem to get his damage up by a lot, right? You pretty much need to build reflex set on Brogni. I put 1 set of divine speed because I feel like he's dying a lot when it gets to the later stages of the Ultra Nightmare Clan boss. The boss hits really freaking hard. Oh man, so it's better to have more protection. My reflex set is a full. Most of my gears are fully ascended, right? Because I just lacks the stats somehow. I don't know why. Okay. I need to farm better reflex gear to replace this. Okay, so luckily I have a good attack percentage boots, and ascended with speed, right? Just to reach the speed threshold. 2 pieces of refresh accessories. You want him to keep recycling the A2. The stats are like this: 185 speed, decent defense, not high enough attack. I feel like not high enough attack, not high enough crit damage. Okay, it's due to my gear problem. And again, 65 crit rate percentage. Okay, fully book his skill, except for the A1. A1 is optional. The money shot, the A2, we want him to keep cycling this A2 because this A2 will keep growing the shield for everybody based off the damage he's doing, right? I think it's 30% of the damage inflicted. We are going to use his A3 just once at the start of at the first turn, I should say. This will increase attack for everybody and then place the shield equal to 30% of the champion's max hit point, right? Then this passive will help do some damage. Okay. As for the masteries, went down to Giant Slayer. I started with Blade Disciple instead of a crit rate. This one is following MulletReaver's advice or recommendation, I should say. Okay, and then the support tree from Pinpoint Accuracy down to Sniper and Master Hexer. Cycle of Magic is pretty much compulsory for Brogni. We want him to recycle the A2 or get back to his A2 as soon as possible. Alright, okay, let's see here. Done. Next guy, I don't know if you even saw this person before. This guy is Anchorite. Okay, he is one of the fusion champions for, I forgot which legendary. So in MulletReaver's video, he uses double Chris. I have a second Chris. I just don't want to use a second Chris here, because this would be a slower speed, right? at a 245 speed spot. Okay, I use Anchorite instead. Why? Because he can be a guardian. He's a suitable candidate for guardian set. Okay, I should say. Best of all, he brings the crit rate buff and the crit damage buff, the 30% increased crit rate and 30% increased crit damage, which is crucial for Brogni. Priority is Brogni because we want him to deal more damage over time. We're just gonna use Anchorite's A3 once and then lock it off, and then from there he keeps extending with his A2. Extend everybody's buffs, okay, at a 3-turn cooldown. Absolutely crazy. He's a suitable candidate for Guardian set because he's a hit point based champion. Not hit point based, support based, but his hit point is ridiculously high for a support champion. Look at that. I did not even buff his hit point by a lot. I only focus on his defense. Okay, he's in a guardian set. Look at my guardian set on Anchorite. Most of them are defense percentage, one hit point percentage, because it's a good ascension, so I use it. And look at this. This is one of the godly pieces of my guardian set. Triple speed roll, defense percentage, and then extended with speed. Absolutely crazy, right? For masteries, went down the defense tree for selfless defender and bulwark. Okay. As for support, started with this steadfast mastery. Mostly we just want to extend and empower his heal and use the cycle magic to cycle back his A2 faster, and lasting gifts. Okay, he doesn't do any debuff, so lasting gifts would be nice for him, since he brings the 2 buffs to the table. Okay, last but not least, Mr. Corpulent Cadaver. As you can see, I have him uber juiced up with all the gear ascension with a stalwart gear. Okay, one set of stalwart and one set of divine speed. Divine speed is pretty much necessary for most of the champions in this comp. It just brings so much survivability to them, because Ultra Nightmare Clan boss hits really hard, as you will see later in my video. So we just focus on defense stats for Corpulent Cadaver. 5.5k defense. I think the hit point can be improved. Okay, the crit rate doesn't matter much. Even if he weak hits, the damage is quite static for Corpulent Cadaver, so the crit damage don't really matter much. The accurate speed, it should be 196 for Corpulent Cadaver, but 200 is acceptable. Okay, so my gear ascension, I got lucky. Defense percentage with defense percentage ascension, right? Absolutely crazy. So fully ascended all his gear. Of course, for the blessing, I got a faultless defense. Okay, this will reduce the damage taken for multi hits, right? As for masteries, went down to War Master and a typical defense tree. He will not benefit from any of the support tree masteries. Okay. We will just use him for his renowned A1. The A1 deals massive damage based off 30% of the shield value, right? So if Brogni managed to grow the shield to a very big size, as you will see later, he will do a lot of damage. Okay, I'm assuming most of my viewers are just new to the game and don't know what's going on. Okay. Alright, so I think I've gone enough talk. Alright, let's get into the team com or team setup. Okay, so we're at my Infinity Team Com setup. The team setup for this is relatively easy and simple. We will put Corvis in the lead, and he will take the stun from the boss. In actual fact, nobody will get stunned in this team com because of Brogni's block debuff at the start of the turn, right? And we'll keep extending that buff, so nobody will actually get stunned. What I'm concerned here is about the damage from that hit, that one hit from the clan boss. So if Corvis is taking that hit, that's fine, as long as it's not Corpulent that is taking the hit. So for Corvis, we will just open with the A3 and prioritize the A2. Chris will open with the A3 and lock it off, prioritize the A2. Same goes with Brogni, exactly the same. Same goes with Anchorite, exactly the same. And for Corpulent, we will lock off all his A2 and A3 and just use the A1. That's it. Really simple. So let's get into the fight. Now this is a pre-recorded run, right? Let me move myself here. Okay, so what's happening here is everybody is so buffed up, okay, for lack of a better word, as you can see. Brogni and Anchorite buff everybody, and then the buffs keep extending, right? A bit scary on Corvis side because the increased speed is at one turn duration, but not to worry, we got that refresh going. So you can see here, Corvis, the A3 field research just puts so much poison and help the damage mitigation, right, at the early stages. If you can accumulate the shield value at a very high value at early stages when the boss is not hitting so hard, then you can survive longer towards the end of the fight, right? Look at that. Absolutely crazy. Corpulent is slowly gaining up, and nobody is in any risk of dying, of course. This is part of the Infinity Team Com. So let me see here. I feel like Chris, sometimes the decreased defense from Chris, right, it doesn't land, which is really not good, right? We want that decreased defense for Brogni again, because we need Brogni to do a lot of damage, in fact, to grow the shield. And as for decreased attack, Corvis and Chris, they got it covered. So decreased attack has to be up all the time, preferably. So I think the poison, sometimes it lands and sometimes it falls off. That's fine, as long as it got some form of damage mitigation, that's fine. So Anchorite is not really doing much here. After he buff, and what he does is just extending all the buffs, and in the Guardian set he will help mitigate the damage, takes off the load from Chris, because I feel like Chris is the one that dies first towards the end of the run. Maybe because of his ally protection, I feel like. So I still don't understand, because my Chris is really stacked in defense and hit point, right? You'll see towards the end of the fight, he's the first to die. I think it's really due to the ally protection that he's putting up. So I'll let the fight play through to the end, and I'll get back to you. Okay, so as you can see here, when we near the turn count of 100 turn count for boss turn, Chris' shield will diminish greatly. I think it's due to the ally protection. I suspect it's due to that. I'm not a clan boss expert, so that would be my speculation. But nonetheless, Corpulent Cadaver has reached 1 mil per hit, and as you can see here, Chris will be the first to die, which I think it's serviceable, I guess, at this point. If you want to reach the turn limit, then if I want to reach the turn limit, I think I need to somehow increase Brogni's damage. Now you can see here, Chris already died. We can still go on for a bit. There's still a bit left in the tank for Corpulent to go on until the end. So that's about it. That's my Infinity team. Let's move forward to see the damage, the total damage. Okay, so Corpulent will be the last one to die because of the amount of shield he has, right? And his damage will slowly diminish and finally die. That's how an Infinity team comp would work. Okay, so this is the damage that we are doing in final UN Ultra Nightmare Clan boss. Okay, I normally would reach the turn limit for Nightmare level and below. That's easy for me. I still can't reach the turn limit for Ultra Nightmare. So some improvement to this team is probably just Brogni, and the new area bonus, right? Not that I would need it, but there's area bonus from the live arena, designed for different areas of the game. The grade 3 upgrades will be Hydra and Demon Lord. Not that I would need any of these, but if I want to further increase the potency of this Infinity team, then I guess the upgrades here are necessary. But as for the Great Hall area bonuses, since we are touching this subject, I guess the priority should come to Fire Knight, right? Mainly because hard mode is really hard, and I will prioritize the speed for the Fire Knight castle. Okay, so that's my team comp. Again, credits to Victor Tess, the creator of this idea, Infinity team idea, and MulletReaver, HellHades, Deadwood Jedi. You guys have been awesome. I took a lot of reference from your videos, so thank you, and hope you guys enjoy my video. Leave a comment down below. What do you think about my Infinity team? Okay, clan boss team. It's not the world record, but it's definitely fun to watch. I don't have Lana keys, by the way, so that's it. That's about it. Enough talk. Hope to see you guys on the next one, and have a good day ahead. And I managed to build somewhat similar to an Infinity not to say I'm world class. So with reference to all those data, I managed to